There comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're fucking to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your fucking ass. And you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something fucking hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive.
At some point, you gotta be tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta play angry, and I play angry.
You made this much money, get back to work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk, get off the podcast, don't be on social media too much, cut out all the fucking noise, get back to the lab, because that's where the knowledge came from.
I wish that some of you guys could care so much about what you're here to do today that you could talk to me and you fucking break down crying. And you'd break all your fucking weakness off of you and you'd literally change.
There has to be something. This is what I'm talking about now, because this isn't a hack. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book because I was all this shit and then a lot more of. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done.
Not one of you can outwill me. You may have been born with more genetic prowess than I am, but you cannot out-determine me. I am the one.
Most people can only execute when they feel good. If you can be someone who can execute whether you feel good or whether you feel like, and you can execute at a high level, that means that the 30% of the time where they feel good and the 66.666% of the time where they feel like they're not executing, you have a 66% advantage over the time that you're executing that they don't, which means you're doing 2/3 more work than what they're doing, okay? So you have to train yourself to become someone who is resilient, who has fortitude, who has grit, who can persevere, who can pay attention to their boss voice and can execute against the things that they know are going to move them where they want to go, even when they don't feel like it. And if you can do that, it will become, quote unquote, easier. You will perceive it to be easier. It will not be easier. You will be stronger.
One of the biggest freaking problems with you is the way you think about yourself. That's one of your biggest freaking problems. That's why you can't achieve what you want to achieve. That's why you look around you. You look at other people. You look at guys like me and you say, man, I can't ever do what Chad did. You look at guys like Andy and say, I can't ever do. Man, that's freaking bull crap, man. Let me tell you what we are. Let me tell you how we believe about ourselves. We believe and we know that we are simply common humans with an uncommon desire to succeed. And how do you build an uncommon desire to succeed? That has got to be forged by adversity. You need to start believing that about yourself. and stop believing all the bull crap that you believe about yourself, and stop looking at people like me or Andy or DJ and thinking that there's something special about us that you don't freaking have, man. We're flesh and bones, man. All right? That's the first stanza of this thing. I will draw on every remaining ounce of strength to accomplish the mission. I am never out of the fight. I demand discipline and innovation from myself. Mission success depends upon me. Yeah, that's right. Mission success depends upon me. I will constantly sharpen my skills, my proficiency, and my attention to detail. My training is never complete. You can only fight the way you practice, and you will never be done. You will never reach perfection. You will never be done. I will train like I fight. I will stand ready at any moment to bring the full spectrum of my knowledge, my skills, and my ability to bear in order to achieve the mission and accomplish the goals that are established by my team. I will bring that to bear.